Sebagai Meranan Tanguy, friends बताउँछु म नेपालमा बस्छु 7 वर्षदेखि त्यस्तै अब आज म इङ्ग्लिसबाट बोल्छु अझै सजिलो भयो I will speak in English if you don't mind and I will keep some notes. I'm suffering from anxiety. I have insomnia also. Due to some jet lag, I'm just back from France. So thank you to the organizer for this event and give me the opportunity to speak. It's always a big pleasure to meet new people and exchanging point of view and different approaches of life. So thank you for that. And especially here in Kathmandu, a city that I have learned to know, that I have learned to love, because as you see and as you know, I'm not from here. And I have been invited today to speak to you about how we can embrace the difference. So it's a vast topic. I've been thinking of it. Obviously, I've been embracing big difference by living here, leaving my country, getting married in Nepal, doing also some social work in Nepal, and dedicating my YouTube channel to the promotion of Nepal. So I will try to express my feeling about how I can embrace the difference through some personal paths and maybe a more general idea. So first, I've been thinking, so where it comes from, the idea of embracing the difference. I think I have to go back to where I was born. So I was born in France, but in the west part of France, which is a very specific part because it's in front of the Atlantic Ocean. And I think it's a huge part of who I am today, because I think when you grow up in front of the ocean, you are already at a border between two worlds. And the people from Brittany, they are used and attached to the ocean. They are used to pass from one world to another. Walking on the land and sailing or swimming are two different languages. So I think it had an impact on me from the beginning. Already standing on the rocks and looking at the ocean, so you see the line of horizon. And when I was a kid, I was always looking at this line of horizon and asking myself, what can be there? What people I could meet further. So from what I think, it was already an invitation to the travel. So if you add the fact that from very young I've read books about adventure and travelers, I guess I made myself open to an idea of discovery. But I have also a strong identity. In Brittany, we have our identity. It's a different identity from the rest of France. We have our own language, we have our own music, our own food, our own festivals. And you know it very well in Nepal because you have here so many ethnic groups, different traditions. So my identity is very strong. So to resume, I think since the beginning, I've been raised up in an identity, but very open to an idea of discovering the world. So my professional path has been linked to that. I have been a reporter, director for the French TV. I've been traveling in many countries. I've been very lucky. It gave me the opportunity to see many cultures, many different people, to understand that I was not alone in the world, that my identity was not the only one, my approach of life was not the only one. So embracing the difference, yes, of course, there are differences in the world, but I think difference is not a bad word. There are just fundamental differences between people, whether they are cultural, social, philosophical, or individual. But it doesn't mean that these differences should be a barrier between us. They should not be sources of conflict. And unfortunately, sometimes it can be. For me, from what I think, this difference of beliefs, opinion, this is what makes the world rich and dynamic, as possible key to an harmony. At least it teaches us that we can always learn something from each other. This is an idea that I like a lot. I think this is what led me to Nepal as well. I think we should not be scared of the difference, of course. So today we are in Kathmandu. a city, like I said, that I have made my own. I came here the first time 10 years ago. So the story is that I was visiting my mom, who was already there, and my mom was and is still involved in social work for needy children of Nepal to provide education and try to build a brighter future. And so when I came the first time, I was just visiting my mom and to see what she had done here. And yeah, I can say I fell in love at the first sight. Yeah, obviously my first steps in Kathmandu, even if Kathmandu, I have to admit, is a chaotic city sometimes. It can be a nervous city, but my first step in Kathmandu, it was at the Stupa of Bodhnas. And I will always remember this first feeling with, obviously, the Stupa, which is beautiful, and the people turning around. All this atmosphere, with the incense fumes, the mantras, the prayer wheel, and it hit me. It was not my identity, it was not my face, but I dived into it, I loved it, and yeah, simply it hit me. And one thing that I remember is that, the stupa is looking at the four directions at the same time. On the fourth side of the stupa, the eyes of the Buddha are painted. Therefore, Buddha is looking at all the world. Somewhere he has all the point of view of the world. And I think this is what I want to speak about direction, about point of views. As for human beings, it's difficult to have all the points of views of the world, or the perception. It would mean we know all the world, and it's almost impossible. The world is different, people are different, landscapes are different, languages are different, and the way of expressing certain things are different. But even if I know my identity, generally in life, and especially in Nepal, I have never been scared of discovering other points of view of the world. So in short, as I told you, I fell in love quickly in Nepal, and after a few times, I realized that, yeah, why not? It could be my place. Why not, after all? So I decided to settle here. And at the beginning, the first time I came here, it was just to visit. What I didn't know is that it was going to lead me to discover a new version of myself. So differences, and at first the differences between France and Nepal, they seem very vast. I mean, we are really speaking about two different worlds. The language, the custom. You drive on the left, we drive on the right, and we don't drive the same way, to be honest. It's very different in Kathmandu mainly. So we have plenty of difference. You like spicy food. For me, it took time to get used to this. You don't perceive the time the same way as well. We need to speak about the Nepali time. I think that you have to get used also. But one moment I have understood that all these differences, they were not obstacles. They were just enriching me, giving me another point of view, another perception of the world. So the first thing I try, I think, is to understand, because I think the real process is about understanding. If you start the process of understanding the other, I think we are on the good way. The first thing I understand in Nepal is that I think Nepal could be the definition of embracing the different. You look at the number of ethnic groups, different festivals, cultures, religion. It's a huge mix, and it's a beautiful mix. And I really love. I think it's a good inspiration for the rest of the world. And even the skin color are not the same. The shape of eyes are not the same everywhere. Everyone is united under the same flag. This is something that really pleased me, I think, really this idea of unity in diversity. And even I noted, because your national anthem is very beautiful. In France we have a very warrior anthem, like we are going to war and everything. But in Nepal you say, I like the sentence, that woven from hundreds of flowers, we are one garland, that's Nepal. So I think I'm at the right place to speak about how we can embrace the difference. And yeah, I embrace the difference, obviously, because I think I just embrace life. That's the way I got married here in Nepal. I married a Nepali girl. And yeah, it's a huge adventure. It's a huge thing, yeah. But marrying a Nepali girl, I think it's not only about love. It's also to accept an immersion into the differences. It's accepting that we have two visions to share, two visions of the world, and it's challenging. It's not easy at the beginning, honestly. We have to compromise, we have to understand each other. It's about sharing two identities and try to build a common one. That's the challenge, I think. And it's a little bit like, give me your dashain, I will give you my Christmas. Give me your dalbat, I will give you my bread or my croissant. Give me your mountain, and I can give you my ocean. And until the moment we even forget which one belongs to who. Until dashain is mine, until Christmas is yours. That's the process. It's a process of love. It takes time. Understanding takes time. You need patience, you need tolerance. And it's enriching yourself. And it leads you to the main step of my life, I guess. It's to have a child that you have to raise up between two cultures. She's 6 years old now. She speaks Nepali. She speaks French. She celebrates Dashen. She celebrates Christmas. She knows what is to walk around the stupa. She knows what is to walk around the Eiffel Tower. At the end, I think she is both. She is Himalaya and she is ocean. And she reminds me every day how cultures can blend beautifully. Because none of the culture is forgotten. It's not about putting one over the other. That would not make sense. Now it's about building something which is that fits to our family. The best lesson that I have learned is that our cultural differences, they don't divide us if we decide that they don't divide us. This is our choice. This is the real lesson I have learned. If we decide that it will not divide us, it will not divide us. For me, it has given me the chance to see the world from another perspective. So at the beginning, it can be a difference, but after a few times, you can make it your own, and then it's no longer a difference. Now, even myself, I'm always the first one to celebrate Holi, to celebrate Losa, which is coming soon. I'm always ready for Dashen. I'm the first one to put the light when TR is coming. So, yeah, Nepali Neo, so, honestly, it has become as much important for me as Christmas. I made it my own, and I'm really happy that Nepali people have also allowed me and welcomed me with that's in such a nice way. That's big difference also between France and Nepal. I think in Nepal you know how to welcome. Thank you for that. Thank you. So I stand here today, I think not only as a French man living in Nepal, but as someone who sees the world through the both lens. My journey in Nepal started as an adventure. Obviously, it has become my way of life. Through my YouTube channel, I have tried to portray Nepal, to showcase Nepal, and I have traveled many places, I have to say, discovered many places in Nepal. So as I've been traveling from the mountain in Mustang or to the jungle of Bardia, I have realized also that Nepal was not only a place to document, but also a teacher to myself. And you know better than me, Nepal is full of diversity. Everywhere I've gone, I've tried to dive into the mentality of people, into the way of life of people. I've been listening to them, looking at them. That's my approach. Probably comes from my work of reporter also. So I have tried to understand why the Kirati people makes puja for the earth. I have tried to understand why Newar people cook yomari, why Taru people are called the people of the jungle, why the Tamang people are so close to the Tibetan culture, why the people of Tsum Valley practice the non-violence. why Saligram is important for the people who are following Hinduism. All of this I have tried to understand. And I have found peace looking at the Himalaya. I have found harmony sailing on the Karnali River. And I've taken a piece of everything. And I have added it not only to my knowledge, but to my soul. It's a part of me now. So I just want to, through this, to tell you what I have learned in Nepal. I think I have learned that a mutation of mind takes time. Embracing a difference cannot be done in a blink of eyes. It's a process. You can have the envy, you can have an idea of discovery, but you cannot feel yourself a citizen of the world, like we say sometimes, without confronting yourself to the world. I have confronted myself also to Nepal with the good sides, with the bad sides. It's been a long time I'm here. I know a lot about Nepal, but at least I have confronted myself to the Nepal. Because yes, at the end we all have an identity, and it always comes back sometimes. Especially when you live here fully, when you are married with someone from another culture, when you are raising a child between two cultures, your DNA, your identity is always there. So it's a process, it's in motion. You cannot go from ignorance to knowledge in 1 second. It doesn't work like this. There are stages. And for that, and to speak about the difference, and to accept the difference, we need interlocutors. Otherwise, we keep speaking to ourselves and we stay in our own truth. To embrace a difference, we obviously need an external point of view to add to our own. So we need to confront each other. Everyone has his conception of the truth, and it's subjective. So that's why I think we have to open to each other. I think they are the opportunity of the contradiction. And the contradiction to what we think we know is always the best way to evolve. It's difficult to change, especially for the unknown. At the beginning, Nepal was the unknown for me. But what is the unknown? It's nothing more than something which has to be known. Simple as that. Living here, I've never lost my identity. I know who I am. I've never lost my ocean. I've just added the Himalaya to my ocean. So it's not about being right or wrong. I think at the end it's about expanding our field of understanding. In certain stages of life will shake our beliefs, our identity. We don't like it sometimes because we feel that our identity can disappear. I don't think so. I think our identity never disappears. They just transform. They mutate. By evolving our belief, our identity, they don't die. It's opposite. I think they show that they are alive. And I've never felt that much alive than since I'm in Nepal. Thank you so much.